All right, Peter, thank you. Well, our back to school week continues, and this morning we are talking about back to school safety that goes beyond the classroom. I'm joined this morning by two agents from the FBI office here in Cleveland, Supervisory Special Agent Todd Krajak, as well as Agent Jessica Dunkel. You guys, thanks so much for joining me this morning.
Of course, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you. So back to school, it's a really exciting time, but it's also important that we make it a safe time. And I know, just jumping into things here, it's so easy to post. I don't have kids, but I have nieces and nephews, and I love posting them as well. But those like back to school signs, and you know, it says a lot of information about the child, the age, where they're going to school, the teacher. Just talk about some safety when it comes to those online factors and posting photos.
Sure. So we always try to emphasize not to post information about your child online, because you're giving that access to the world. The internet is connected to everywhere. So you don't want all of that personal information and those bad actors to have access to your children in that manner.
Yeah, and this also, we talked about going far beyond the classroom as well. And you guys are seeing an increase of different types of predators online, especially in recent years. And it's not just affecting teenagers who are on social media. Can you guys talk a bit about that?
Sure. So a big thing that we've been seeing lately is an increase in sextortion crimes. So what that is essentially we have people who are pretending to be children online. They will meet them on gaming websites, on social media, and then start to talk to them and build that trust. And then what they will do is they will have that trust built up, and they'll try to get that child to send them inappropriate photos. And then once that child feels comfortable, sends them the photos, they'll turn around and use those photos against them in a blackmail sort of way to try to get money. And we often see that in a form of things that kids would have. So we see these offenders requesting things like Apple gift cards or PlayStation gift cards, or things that a kid would realistically have, like a birthday present or a Christmas gift. You know, it's not something that would be unrealistic.
Yeah. And Todd, there's a lot of good in the world, but there's also a lot of bad. And I feel like both of our professions, we often see a lot of that bad. Just your advice to parents when monitoring online presence of their children.
Yeah, the biggest thing is just communication with your kids, letting them know what threats are out there, things to look for. You know, don't take inappropriate photos of yourself. Don't send them to people. Knowing who you're talking to online, because as Jess alluded to, they could think they're talking to a boy or girl of their own age, but it's probably an adult male, you know, somewhere on the internet seeking to get inappropriate photos of them to be used against them.
Yeah, and some of those conversations can be uncomfortable, but they are needed, especially in, unfortunately, today's day and age. How would you suggest maybe approaching that conversation with your child?
I think it's just so important to be open and honest and just ripping off the Band-Aid, essentially. I don't have kids myself, but I've talked to enough parents where it's the parents that we see have the most well-adjusted kids, and the kids that come to them when there is one of these issues are the ones that they've had these conversations early and often.
So a lot of it can not be preventative. You know, anything can happen, of course, but it is important to have these types of conversations. And is there anything else that you guys wanted to add when it comes to back to school safety for anyone of all ages, teachers as well?
Yeah, one thing I'll put in a plug for the FBI, but parents can go to fbi.gov/online safety, and there's a lot of tools, not only for kids, but for adults to stay safe online and educate their kids and how to start those conversations with their kids. And
can some of these tips be anonymous as well? Can they stay anonymous?
Yeah, when you report tips to the FBI, they absolutely can be anonymous. You can report them at tips.fbi.gov, and then you can also call our National Threat Operations Center and report anything that you see as suspicious, or if there's somebody that's talking to your child online.
Yeah, it's so important. When you see something, say something and speak up, because you have to be your own advocate for your children as well and keep them safe out there. You guys, thank you so much for coming in today. So much great advice was given, especially for parents and new parents as well, beginning all those back to school adventures. So thank you so much. It's important we do it safely.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.